At my mother's funeral, I braced for grief, but nothing prepared me for the sting of words spoken after her casket was lowered. In the small community church she'd chosen, no music, no frills, just wooden pews and a few floral arrangements, our family gathered, uncertain how to mourn her. I sat in the second row beside my daughter, Laya, 8 years old, her legs swinging as she clutched my hand. My brother Mason rose to speak. Naturally. He always claimed the spotlight, the golden child in our mother's eyes. He smiled as if delivering a toast rather than a eulogy. "She always called me her sunshine," he said. "I made her laugh when life got hard, and no matter what, she was proud of me." Soft chuckles, nods, and a sniffle or two followed. I sat still, feeling like a stranger in a film I didn't belong to. Then my uncle, my mother's brother, Rick, cleared his throat behind us. "Evelyn was a complicated woman," he declared loudly. "But it's no secret, she never cared much for her daughter." No one laughed this time. No one disagreed either. The words hit like a punch to the chest. Mason didn't flinch. My father stared at the floor, suddenly fascinated by the tiles. My cousins shifted awkwardly, but no one spoke in my defense. No one said, "That's not true." No one said Isla deserved better. Silence. I swallowed hard, blinking back tears. I refused to cry in front of them. Not now. Laya squeezed my hand. I glanced down, and her big, questioning eyes met mine. She knew something was wrong. She always did. I opened my mouth, unsure what to say, maybe to defend myself, to leave, to scream. But before I could, Laya stood. She walked to the front, clutching an envelope. She must have found it that morning in Grandma's study while I got ready. Everyone turned, confused. Some smiled, expecting a sweet child's tribute. Instead, she held up the envelope and asked, her voice trembling yet steady, "Then why did Grandma leave this for my mom?" Silence. Not grief's quiet, but guilt's weight. My heart pounded so loudly I barely heard her next words. "She said I wasn't allowed to open it. She said only Mommy could." Every eye fixed on us, on her, on me. I took the envelope from her tiny hands, my fingers trembling. My mother's handwriting stared back, to Isla, in blue ink. I didn't know what it held, but in that moment, something shifted. The narrative cracked, the truth stirred, and it came from the one person who never doubted me, my daughter. It's strange, isn't it? How you can stand in a room full of people you've known forever and feel utterly alone. That's how I felt stepping back into my childhood home after 5 years. Everything was unchanged, not comforting but suffocating. The outdated wallpaper, the dusty rose-colored rug my mother refused to replace, the lavender and lemon polish scent clinging like a ghost. Even the silence judged, never welcomed. I lingered in the foyer, Laya tugging my coat. "Is this where you grew up, Mommy?" she whispered. I nodded, forcing a tight smile. "Yeah, baby, this is it." Her curious eyes scanned the space, piecing together her grandmother, why we were here, why everyone seemed so stiff, so cold. I didn't know what to tell her. I wasn't sure how I felt being there. Truth is, when I got the call about Mom's passing, I didn't cry. I didn't collapse or scream. I sat on my couch, phone in one hand, lukewarm tea in the other, feeling a dull, hollow ache, like losing something I never truly had. My mother, Evelyn Monroe, was called complicated by those being polite. In truth, she was cold, not cruel, not abusive, but quietly meticulous, making warmth something you earned. Mason earned it effortlessly, or maybe she just decided he deserved it. The golden boy, charming, athletic, loud in a way that won applause, not eye rolls. His mistakes were, boys will be boys. Mine were character flaws. I don't recall her hugging me without stiffness, without purpose. She loved structure, appearances, the image of a good church family. She didn't love softness, emotion, or anything I offered. Still, I tried. Straight A's, choir, yes ma'am, folded sweaters, never enough. Eventually I stopped trying and planned my escape. I did. College across the country, a man who loved me softly, openly, honestly, gone too soon. Cancer doesn't care who you need. After it was just me and Laya, she became my everything. Every late night, every scraped knee kissed, every school drop-off, I vowed to be the mother I never had, offering encouragement, real hugs, unconditional love I learned from scratch. Returning for the funeral wasn't about closure. I knew better. It was a final obligation, one last, unreciprocated effort. I didn't expect a letter. I didn't know the truth was waiting. I certainly didn't know my daughter, the youngest voice, would say what I never could. Standing in that house, before it unfolded, I felt tired, like an actor in a play without lines. I was the unseen daughter, until she made them see. I thought I could endure the funeral without unraveling. Just smile politely, speak when spoken to, leave before the wine flowed. I'd rehearsed it. No scenes, no sympathy, just endure for Laya's sake. But I underestimated my family. Always do. The service was short, minimal, Bible verses, stifled sobs, none mine. I sat stiffly beside Laya in the same black dress from her father's funeral, unsure what to feel, if I was allowed to feel. Afterward, we shuffled to the family house. The mood was stiff, like co-workers, not kin. Cheap coffee, cold sandwiches, forced hugs. I escaped to the kitchen, but Mason found me. No, hi, as usual. You look tired, he said, grabbing a water bottle like he owned the place. Funerals, huh? I nodded, biting my tongue. Then came his speech. No one warned me. Of course, Mason seized the moment, tapping his glass like at a wedding. Can I say a few words? He asked, already center stage. People smiled, clapped. I froze by the doorway, heart pounding, arms crossed tight. She always told me I was her sunshine, he began. No matter what, she'd say, Mason, you light up my world. That's who Mom was. She believed in me, pushed me, said I was destined for something big. Something sour rose in my throat. I glanced at Laya, coloring quietly, not yet listening. Then the gut punch. She always said she didn't understand girls much. Mason chuckled. Said Isla was different, sensitive, too emotional, not like me. The room laughed lightly, like quirky family banter. Then Uncle Rick, bourbon in hand, leaned forward. Evelyn never really cared for her daughter. Not her fault. Some women just aren't built for it. I was erased, a footnote in my mother's life. No one objected. Not my father, staring into his drink. Not my cousins, not Mason, smiling, sipping water like it was nothing. Shame, fury, humiliation boiled. I opened my mouth, but years of swallowed silence choked me. Then Laya's hand slipped into mine. Her knowing eyes met mine. Before I could stop her, she stood, walked to the front, envelope in hand. Then why? Her voice shook. Did Grandma leave this for my mom? The room suffocated in silence. Oxygen gone. The conflict wasn't just mine anymore. It belonged to the one person I refused to let this family break, my daughter. My heartbeat thundered. Laya's small, clear voice echoed in a room never kind to me. A challenge. Then why did Grandma leave this for my mom? No one spoke. No one moved. Even Mason, quick-witted and smug, just stared, blinking. Uncle Rick's face twisted. Confusion, irritation, like a child's story ruined. Laya walked to me, placing the envelope in my hand like a precious gift. Thin, yellowed, my name in delicate cursive, to Isla. The air shifted. That envelope held power. For the first time, I had it. I looked at Laya, her eyes heavy with a sadness no 8-year-old should carry. She didn't grasp it all, but enough. She'd seen their coldness, felt it, and this was her shield for me. I brushed her hair back, whispering, "Thank you, baby." I stepped forward, not center stage, not for drama, but enough to be seen. My daughter asked a fair question, I said, voice low but steady. If my mother didn't care, why this? Uncle Rick scoffed. Probably old bank paperwork. Evelyn kept every receipt. I ignored him. I turned the envelope, heart drumming. Did I want to read it? A quiet part of me said, "Do it anyway." I opened it, a handwritten letter and a small silver key taped to the corner. I unfolded it carefully. The room was silent. Isla, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And I waited too long to say what I should have said alive. I took a breath, continued. I didn't know how to be a mother to you. Not an excuse, just truth. You were everything I wasn't. Soft, emotional, thoughtful. I saw those as weakness because I buried mine to survive. I was wrong. I've watched you from afar, seen the mother you've become. I see how Laya looks at you. Trust, love. You did what I couldn't. I'm proud of you. Tears blurred the words. I hadn't cried before my family in a decade. Now, with her gone, I couldn't stop. The letter ended. There's a journal in my bedroom closet, locked in a blue box. Use the key. It's yours. Everything I was too afraid to say is inside. I hope it finds you in time. Mom. I looked up. The silence shifted from smugness to discomfort. No one knew what to say. They couldn't rewrite the story, and I wasn't done uncovering it. The room held its breath as I clutched the letter. People who'd dismissed me for years watched like I was someone new, someone they couldn't explain. I didn't speak. I folded the letter, slipped it back, and held up the key. I knew where it belonged. My mother's bedroom was unchanged. Floral comforter, stiff pillows, rose water, and mothballs. I opened her closet slowly, heart thudding. On the top shelf, a dusty blue velvet box. I pulled it down, sat on the bed, and unlocked it. Inside, a leather-bound journal, thick, worn, ribbons spilling like veins, pages filled with her handwriting. My hands trembled as I opened it. March 12, 1993, Isla's first choir solo. I froze. I was 9, in a too big blue dress, stumbling over the last verse. I thought she hadn't noticed, but she looked so scared. I almost told her she didn't have to sing, but she did. Her voice was shaky, beautiful. I didn't say anything after, don't know why. She looked at me, waiting, and I said, "Good job." Not enough, but all I could get out without crying. I turned pages. I watched her grow up feeling invisible, and I let it happen. She thought I loved Mason more. Maybe I did, or maybe I understood him more. But Isla, she was the brave one. Dozens of entries, moments I'd buried, thinking they meant nothing to her. They'd lived in her, inked, guarded in silence. I hadn't just been seen, I'd been remembered. I returned downstairs, journal in hand, eyes swollen, cheeks flushed. Laya looked up from the couch. I smiled. She smiled back with that quiet knowing children have. The room had settled, but the energy had shifted. Mason glanced up from his phone. Uncle Rick sipped his drink like it soured. No one spoke until I did. I used to think my mother didn't love me, I said. I was wrong. I opened the journal, read one entry, my choir solo, just the first lines. When I looked up, the room was still. Mason's smirk was gone, his face showing doubt. Uncle Rick cleared his throat but stayed silent. My father looked away. I closed the journal and faced Laya, my anchor. She didn't say the words out loud, I said, but she wrote them. Maybe that's the only way she knew how to love me. I turned to leave. I didn't need apologies or validation. I had the truth, and a daughter who ensured I found it. That day began with a burial but felt like a resurrection. 3 weeks since the funeral. The flowers are gone, casseroles tossed, untouched, expired. The Monroe family has retreated to their preferred silence. But I've changed. Not dramatically. I didn't quit my job, shave my head, or post about healing on Facebook. I'm still Isla, single mother balancing work, bedtime stories, and the quiet fear of messing up. But something feels lighter, like I dropped a weight I didn't know I carried. The journal sits on my nightstand. Some nights, 1 page, others, a dozen. Each is a window into a woman I spent my life trying to understand, sometimes hating for not understanding me. I see her now, her struggle between love and fear. She didn't know softness because her world didn't allow it. She believed strength was silence, emotion a weakness to hide. She wasn't the mother I needed, but she left me the truth. That's becoming enough. What hurts most is knowing she wanted to say these things while alive. Maybe she planned to, maybe time ran out, or maybe the letter and journal felt safer than face-to-face. Whatever the reason, I found it, and it found me. Laya still asks about her. Last night. Was Grandma sad a lot? I said, yes, gently, but added, she loved deeply, even if she didn't show it right. Then, will I be like her? I answered, you'll be you, but you'll always know you're loved. Out loud. That's the legacy I'm building. Not silence, not shame, not brittle strength hiding its heart, but softness, words, truth. I've started writing letters to Laya, a few lines nightly, not because I expect to leave early like Mom, but because I want her to have more than memories or secondhand stories. I want proof. I write how she laughs with her whole body, tells the truth even when it's hard, how proud I am when she stands up for others, like she did for me. That moment is burned in my heart. She stood when no one else did, not because she was told, not because she knew the history, but because she felt wrong and wanted right. That's courage. That's love. That's the woman I'm raising. If you asked my family now, I don't know their story. Maybe they cling to me as the outsider, oversensitive, black sheep. But I know better. I know the truth my mother left, on paper, yes, but also in me. Sometimes love comes late in strange forms. Sometimes it takes a child's voice to pull it from shadows. This story didn't begin with a funeral. It began with a girl who thought she was unloved and ended with her realizing she was never invisible, just unread. If you're still here, thank you for listening. Maybe you felt your voice was too quiet, your love unseen. Maybe you're becoming the parent you never had. If this resonated, drop a comment, share your story, or just say hi. I read every one and your words matter. If this moved you, helped you, or reminded you of someone, like it, share it, subscribe. More stories that matter, heal, remind us we're not alone are coming. You are not invisible. You are not unread. You are seen. You are loved. I'll see you in the next.